what's up you guys, Editing Rob popping in real quick. I just wanted to give you guys a big thanks for everybody who's been regularly watching my videos, especially those of you who have been making it to the very end, or at least have been engaging by like commenting and liking. Like, I get ads aren't necessarily the funnest thing ever, but they are what keeps the lights on and me and my baby fed, and giving us a place to poop, which isn't necessarily the best visual out there, but I do want to say that I appreciate it very much, and throw you guys a little bit of love. Love you. I love you, my little cutesy poopsie. Little face. Hey, what's up my dedicated little dubas? This is Rob from A Gay Guy Plays, and today on #confirmed, we're going to be digging into Devstream 132 to see all of the new content that could be coming as early as next week. Now, I'm going to kick things off with some lighter kind of housekeeping, just some things that they wanted to go ahead and show us real quickly, then we'll move on to the meat of the matter and really sink our teeth into that one. But before we do any of that, I did have a little bit of a disclaimer. If you guys have not checked out my two previous videos, I highly suggest you do. The first one is actually addressing the Update 26 teaser site, which is showing off a lot of the items that also kind of correspond to the things that you'll be seeing here today. In addition to that, I also did a 35-minute reading for Melee Rework Phase 2, and I cover every single topic that's going on over there, and we take a look at the diagrams in all of the videos. So if you guys are more curious about any of those things, I highly suggest you do that, because we're gonna kind of like lightly skim on some of those topics today as opposed to the in-depth ones that we did. Regardless, let's go ahead and jump in to Devstream 132. So first things first, they mistakenly showed us Hydroid Deluxe just by accident at the very beginning of the stream, and you know what? They kind of stuck and roll with it. This is another design by Liger Zanuka, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Listen, they even got him doing the Captain Morgan's pose, and for those of you guys who don't know, spiced rum is my favorite alcoholic beverage. I'm just saying. The colors, of course, are very vibrant, very beautiful. I love all of the swirls that they've got going on with him, but I think the key piece that everybody is looking at is the SANDR. Now, the SANDR is actually something that they were talking about on stream, where they were having some arguments as to how to employ it, because it is more of a cloak style where it lays over the Warframe instead of just kind of like attaching to the back. That's going to be something completely new as to how they handle that, and they're still not 100% sure if they're going to be able to deliver it. But the rest of the skin does look absolutely fabulous. So I'm excited for yet another collaboration. Can't wait till that goes live for our Mr. Pirate Man. Now speaking of pirating and things that we can go ahead and sail into the 7 seas of space, we have some Empyrean Railjack skins. Are you guys, of course, clearly, you are not shocked about this whatsoever. I believe they've showed off 4 different variants, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you. They look really, really good. I might actually have to sell some of like the primed, blueprints and whatnot that I have saved up, just in case, because I still ain't buying shit. I'm just letting you know, if Kuvaliches are not on point and it's not the difficult content that I've been wishing, hoping, and praying for, I ain't buying shit. But those ships are tempting, because not only are they skins, apparently they're completely different layouts, at least from what it's looking like. I mean, if you take a look at it, the shapes of the ships in and of themselves look very, very different. So I'm wondering if they're gonna introduce different kind of like, you know, layouts in general, but they did say completely different railjacks. So I'm really excited to see those in action, because honestly, some of those designs are way better than their original, just putting that out there. Next thing, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a heads up. We do have Nightwave, which is returning Monday, so if you guys were wondering exactly how to get your hands on some Nightane, it is coming soon, do not worry, but it is just going to be an intermission, so there's not going to be any story, but you will be able to run your missions yet again. Next thing that is a little bit time sensitive, so I want to kind of put a big exclamation point on this. Like I was saying, we do have an update that may come as early as next week, so be prepared to at the very least log in, because Melee Phase 2, if you log in within a week of update 26, alright, and they were saying they might extend this, so it might be 2 weeks, you know, at the end of the day, but at least, you know, give yourself a little bit of a week time frame. You will actually be receiving boosters, Forma, and a legendary core, because clearly they're going to be messing around with a lot of the melee weapons that we already have. So they want to kind of give us some resources in order to tweak anything that we need to tweak. Now, I do want to put it out there, and this might be a big ask, but legitimately, I think that we should be awarded Forma and boosters based on the amount of maxed out weapons and Forma that we've already invested into those weapons. If there's some sort of algorithm that you guys could potentially run to award based on merit, instead of just giving us, here's 3 Forma for everybody. That feels a little bit weak, because, you know, there's a lot of people that went ahead and invested a lot into your game, so it'd be nice to see some of that come back to those people. So definitely be sure you go ahead and jump on in within that week time frame, because at least you can go ahead and get yourself a legendary core, right? Just in case. Moving along, they went ahead and teased some, well, it's not really a tease, it's something that's been in the game for a while. They're these kind of like tarot cards thing called Prex cards. They actually went ahead and showed this off, I believe, on primetime the night prior, and they wanted to go ahead and show off 2 more Prex cards. So the first one that they showed off was Goss, and if you guys don't know where you can find this Prex card, it's basically in the Laverian, and it's on the right side of the wall where Syandana is. And really, all it is a shiny card. It doesn't seem to provide any additional lore or anything. Maybe if we collect all of them, we'll actually get something, unlike achievements. Okay, we're going to put the shade away real quick. So that is something that is coming. They actually went ahead and showed off the Atlas one as well as the Grendel one. So really, really cute. I'm just wondering where exactly they're going to fit in the game, or if they're just another collectible to collect that people can yell at you at and say, it's content! Moving along, this is something that they kind of mentioned in passing, but I think that it is something worth mentioning. They did say that primary kick guns are in progress. Where they're going to fit, if they're going to slot into Fortuna, not 100% sure, but they just said they are in progress with no further details. So they are working on it. Now, the next thing is kind of a transitional statement. There is actually going to be a new Itan sculpture added into arbitrations, as well as other rewards. This is the Itan sculpture that you've actually been seeing in the Plains of Eidolon Cetus area. So if you are curious as to when you're going to be able to get your hands on that, that is going to be available in arbitrations. Now, the next thing that is also going to be available in arbitrations, whether you're able to purchase it or not, or whether it's something that drops, I don't know, but I'm leaning very heavily into something that you're going to be able to purchase, are actually keys for Grendel's parts. So listen, if y'all gotta like get your builds together, jump into some arbitrations and start farming up some Vitus Essence, I mean, feel free if you want to take it as a precaution. Maybe do some solo runs so you can avoid people begging you for revives. But this is all in place on how to get Grendel, and that's going to be the next topic that we're taking a look at. So the first thing that you need to do when Grendel comes out is go to the Laverian. Apparently the Laverian is going to have clues as to how you will navigate each part, because apparently the way that they're handling it this time is very different to how they've handled it previously. It's gonna be weird, apparently. And the more that Rebecca talks, the more I'm like, what is going on? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get 3 mission keys that you can grab through arbitrations. All right, so I don't know what grab is, if you mean like farm it up, or if you mean use Vitus Essence to pick up these parts, but apparently there is going to be 1 key per part. The chassis, the systems, and the helmets. Now, each key will have a trick to how you play them. And this is going to be based on the lore that you find in the Laverian. So like I said, go to the Laverian first, figure it out. You'll also be able to bring your friends along to these missions. Now, what they said is there is going to be some challenge that is added to this mission. They're currently tweaking the balance on how it works. But if you succeed, you'll get the part. Now, here's where it gets weird, because Rebecca likes to give spoilers, but it's weird spoilers. She said, don't treasure your loadout darlings. Then she also mentioned something about, like, don't get attached to a mod. And she made a joke saying that, because I'm going to eat it. Don't know how much inference that is to actually what is going on, but later along in the stream, she also stated that mods won't matter. So I don't know exactly what's happening, if you're going to get into Grendel's belly and all of your stuff is going to go away and you're just going to have to melee enemies. I don't know what's going to happen when it comes to these missions, but do keep in mind that we will find out more when update 26 launches. But just in case you want to go ahead and get a jump on these, get to your arbitrations, whether it's solo, whether it's with a set group so you don't have to deal with annoying people, or whether you just want to torment people and not revive them like I would do. Moving along, sticking with that theme of update 26 and all the darkness that comes along with it, we have the Vaska Covid. Now they actually went ahead and showed this in the Plains of Eidolon, Cetus, you know what I'm talking about, and Master Tisoni, the guy with the bird. You know who I'm talking about. They actually showed off that he's going to have 3 new items, and they're going to be echo lures for the Vaska Covid that you'll be doing in conservation. Now, there's a third item that's not a lure and that's not like a little sound thingy, right? Oh, I guess the lure is, oh, the pheromone. There's the pheromone in the lure. There's a third thing, which is going to be a Vaska curative. And you're supposed to be able to use it to cleanse any Kavats in the area that are affected with the Vaska DNA strand, like, gene fuckery thing. Whatever they're doing that is making the cats a vampire, because apparently they can't say vampire. But regardless, there's a curative. So I'm still trying to figure out how it's all gonna fit together, whether you cure your Kavat, then you take the imprints from the Kavat that you cured, and then you can turn that into a baby and it turns into a vampire. I don't know exactly what happens, because they did have a model for a baby Vaska, so apparently we have to breed it in some way, shape, or form. I don't know what's going to happen. Regardless, I'm really interested in that one. They also showed off the fact that there are floofs that are going to be coming. If you are floof inclined, me personally, I could not fucking care less. Let's go ahead and move on to the next thing that they went ahead and showed us that kind of went along with that area. Is actually a new UI setup. So you'll notice that there are actually 3 tabs when you go to your UI upon launch of update 26. They have the Warframe, Companion, Gear, and Vehicle loadout. So you'll be able to click on each of those tabs to kind of alter what you need to do. And that's mainly because of the fact that there is going to be a new item added to the Warframe loadout. But before we get into that, they did go ahead and clarify something that went on with the Exilus slots. So they are going to be introducing, you know, the new Exilus adapter, but this one is going to be for weapons, and we did confirm it does have a separate name. It is a separate item completely, and basically what they did was they removed reload as one of the utility abilities because they felt like it would affect DPS too positively, and they really wanted to just fuck around with things like mag size and, you know, what is it called, recoil, and all of that kind of stuff. So they did remove that to kind of try to keep everything balanced. They really want to make sure that it is pure utility and not something that is gonna directly affect your DPS. They also said that maybe flight speed might be out of it as well. At least that's what D. Rebecca was looking at, but she remembered that it was in there earlier. So I don't know, maybe it's just a little bit of a difference in the builds. Now, back to the item that kind of induced the UI setup change. I did say that in the Warframe loadout, you got a new slot, and that was for your Parazon. At least I hope I spelled it right. It was something like that. So apparently this is going to be a new universal item for all Warframes that you guys are going to have. It's going to be used to hack ciphers and consoles. You can brutalize enemies with it. So I don't know if that's going to like feed into some finishers, reviving allies, capturing enemies, all of that kind of stuff. And this is the new addition that is going to be working with Kuva Liches. And this is where shit gets really fucking interesting, okay? I liked the way that they were talking about the Parazon and the Kuva Liches and all of that kind of stuff. But let's go ahead and talk about the Parazon itself. So, what the Parazon is supposed to be able to do is you're supposed to be able to equip these items called Immortal Mods. They did not clarify how we were going to get Immortal Mods, and the Immortal Mod itself was weird because it looked like it was like on a tattered piece of paper, like a really dark slate of paper or maybe a slate of stone, and it had like an etching that was glowing on it, and it said some just weird nebulous bullshit. It wasn't like you get 100% more damage. Nothing like that. It was very like spell-like, I guess you would say. But basically, what you have to do is you're going to be using the Parazon on all of the Kuva Lich Thralls. So, like we were talking about last time in the previous Kuva Lich video, which I'll go ahead and leave a link up to in the corner, when you go ahead and encounter your first Kuva Lich and you kill them, basically what happens is they grow in strength. Then slowly they'll gain Thralls. Thralls will be in all of the little red, bloody, bubbly parts that you saw on the map previously. And what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to test out your Parazon on these Thralls and try to gain as much information as to what combination of mods that you put on your Parazon will actually be able to kill the Kuva Lich. So it's not this kind of like you go up to the Kuva Lich, you shoot the Kuva Lich a bunch of times and then it's dead. You need to be able to finish it with the right, as they referred to it, kill command. So you're going to use all of these different, all of these different Immortal Mods in different combinations to kill your Kuva Lich. And you're going to have to test out those combinations on the Thralls or get the information that you need in order to figure out what combination is the appropriate one to kill your Kuva Lich. Because it's implied in the name that Lich means they're immortal, so they're immortal until you find the right kill command that you equip onto your Parazon. Interestingly enough, one of the things that I also wanted to mention is that Covert Lethality apparently is going to be a mod transferred from daggers and onto your Parazon somehow. Don't know how that's gonna work, but we'll see exactly what happens with that. Now, when it comes down to the Thralls, this is also something that wasn't mentioned in a previous dev stream, but there's also going to be a thievery aspect to these Thralls. So all of the little bloody areas that you go on into your map, when you finish those missions, either a part or all of the winnings that you get from there might be stolen by the Kuva Lich and his Thralls. And basically what happens is they keep it until you kill the Kuva Lich. So that's a little bit of a bitch, but it is a good incentive to go ahead and go after the Lich. Once you kill the Lich, you will get, and they specify this, most of your earnings back, not all of your earnings. And if you slay that Kuva Lich, you'll also get the weapon that comes along with it. Now, while we are on that subject, basically what happens now, and this I think is a great turn for them, is all of these Kuva weapons will now grant mastery, but only on the first variation. So if you get a fire Kuva Tonkor, right, you'll get mastery for that. However, if you then get an ice Kuva Tonkor, you won't get mastery for it because the Kuva Tonkor part already counts as the variant. The additional bonuses will not grant it. But you can do that all down the line. So Kuva Dragoon, Kuva Tonkor, Kuva Seer, all of those things will grant you mastery, which, to be honest with you, I mean, it kind of pains me to think that I'm going to have to go and earn a lot of these weapons that I'm not really interested in. But I've done it before, and I want to get a higher mastery rank, and that is good incentive for me to go and get them, because like he had said previously, when they did not have the mastery attached to it, there was no incentive for me to go out and get a seer with a freaking fire elemental on there. I couldn't give a shit about that. But like they said, if you're not like fond of that weapon, or if one of your friends really wants that weapon, you'll actually be able to like contribute that Kuva Lich to a different person via the use of the clan war room. Now, one of the interesting things that they were saying over and over and over again is that this is going to be a very big shift in paradigm for the way that Warframe is played, especially on the high end, which excites me, to be completely honest with you. I want to fight these Kuva Liches, especially after they've shown some of the Kuva Liches combat, I guess you would say, finishers on us. So the fact that they're programming in finishers for the Kuvaliches. Some look like Bane's Backbreaker. Some of us are getting thrown around halfway across the room. There's even this weird like transference spike that's coming out of their hand. Like, they're programming in things that would make me think that there is going to be some difficulty attached to them and that they won't necessarily be the easiest to kill. And this excites me because that's the reason I got really excited about arbitrations, because they were like, yo, you gonna die on this one, bruh. Like, I mean, now it's not. Now it's, you know, fucking Care Bear Central. But legitimately, that was the excitement. I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be really tough. And they kept talking about how tough they are. Now, I'm not sure exactly how much I'm able to say, but as I am aware, they might not start off super tough, but they can probably get pretty tough. So I'm really excited about that aspect of it, and the fact that they're programming in things that would infer that these guys are going to be difficult, and failure states, as you would say, and the fact that they are saying that we might not be able to kill them straight out of the gate, especially because of the fact that we're going to need to find out the right combination on our Parazon in order to take these guys out, so we might not kill them straight out the gate. So I'm really excited about that. So all in all, it's sounding really good. They also went ahead and addressed the whole, what do you call this, Mysterious Stranger perk that they were talking about. Like, if you don't kill them and you don't get the weapon from them, but instead you want to convert them, they said they will come in when you most need it. They really wanted to go ahead and stress the most needed part. And they said that it would be, for the most part, kind of unpredictable when they would come. However, it'll become more predictable as you start converting more and more of these liches. So I'm really excited. All in all, it sounds like a really nice paradigm shift. You know, I might just have to throw DE a little bit of monies or something. It seems like it could be good, but I'm going to go ahead and play it first, and I'm going to decide as to how I feel about that. Regardless, let me know what you guys are the most excited about when it comes to this update. Leave that down in the comments below. In addition to that, also, let me know which of the Empyrean ships you are the most interested in, because I'm going to be honest with you, I think I picked out one. I think it's like the red and white one that I'm really into. Toss your feelings down there for the Hydroid Deluxe skin, all of those good bits. Let me know how you feel. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.